Yes, hey man, it could have been me. I know that, man. You know, I know that. Look here, let me tell y'all something. Since we're Americans and we all can understand English, some folks say, I can't understand nothing you saying. You understand what I'm saying, you just don't want to hear it. But you know, a lot of people now, they don't get high no more. You know, they don't mess with the cocaine and they don't mess with the reefer and they don't drink the beer and liquor. We don't do it no more. Let me put myself in there. We don't do all that junk no more that we used to do. But it ain't no secret to us that what that stuff will do to you. But we got some right now since, you know, God don't really touch their heart and gave them a new look on life. They forgot that they used to do it. They didn't really forget that they used to do these kind of things, but they don't want to have nothing to do with people that still do them. And I find that a bad thing. When you really, that's what you call really forgetting where you come from. When you see a person and you know this person high on drugs or something like that right there, I didn't say you'd be foolish enough to try to hang with them, but I'm saying you have enough common sense to know that you need to be praying for them and you need to be still trying to talk to them in a manner that might change them and stop them from doing these kind of things. Because when I was getting high, I got high as I wanted to get, but when I stopped getting high, I wasn't high no more. And high can mean a lot of different things because some folks take this junk the wrong way. Now these people out here doing this crack cocaine, you pray for them and you be careful with them. You out here sniffing cocaine, you pray for them and you be careful with them. Smoking this reefer, all of these things, and I'll tell you something, mark my word, some of this stuff coming back around because people are struggling and they're having a hard time. So while you sitting here trying to deny, and why I say this is because you got inside information in your mind that can prevent somebody from making a mistake. Only thing you hear from me is inside information that can prevent somebody from making a mistake. You got some people that, and I said this and this is so true. From the bottom of my heart, this is so true. I know for myself a few men, and I thank God for them, but they can out-preach just about anybody as far as preaching the word of God. They got the gift to preach this word. They know this Bible, and they good with it. God have placed it in their minds and in their hearts to examine the word of God, and He have given them a gift to be able to walk with that word from Genesis to Revelation. It's kind of hard to beat them when it comes to discovering and discussing the word of God, because God have equipped them with this. What if these men, you know how some folks always say, well, it's in the Bible. What if these men that were so well equipped with this Bible knowledge, what if these men placed it, if they placed this knowledge and wisdom that they have from the Bible in the hearts of men and women and children that are around them, it would be a great thing. And one of my prayers is, because my heart has compassion, I know some good preachers, and they're good men, but they have made some bad mistakes. And with them making bad mistakes, the small thing that they have done put a curse on them to a certain extent where nobody want to be bothered with them. And things would be better if they leave some things alone and get back to the basics, just a simple Bible, and start sharing the Word of God, and stop trying to prove themselves over and over again when they're still doing dirty things. A lot of times you have to admit and give it up to God, not to man, but to God. And I got a great love, and I got a guy, I'm gonna have to call him and talk to him, because he got too much talent, he got too many skills, and he know the Word of God, he know it all too well, but he run up on some hard times. I ain't talking about no sucker preacher. We listen to what all the people say instead of what God say, and trying to please all the people instead of trying to do God. I ain't talking about no sucker preacher. You got some sucker preachers out there, and the sucker preacher just want to make everybody happy. It won't make no difference whether you happy or not. You need to know the truth, then you make yourself happy. But we got some. They ain't never sucker preacher, and the sucker preacher he gonna side with the majority. This is what the sucker preacher gonna do. I'm gonna call him a sucker preacher. If you're a sucker preacher, you're mad with me. The sucker preacher is going to side with the majority. He's going to overlook the less fortunate. Whatever these over here say that's supporting him, then the one he gonna go with. Not the one that's going through the struggle out there. This is what you call a sucker preacher. You got some sucker preachers that ain't got enough sense to move on their own. Somebody got to tell them when to go, where to go, and how to go. If a man gonna preach to me, I want a preacher. I want one that's gonna stand up for what's right. I want one that's gonna be defensive when it comes to doing things and handling business. I need a man that's gonna be a real preacher. I don't need no sucker preacher, because if a sucker preacher gonna listen to everything that comes, I didn't say not reason. I said a sucker preacher. A sucker preacher, anybody got control over a sucker preacher. And if you got a sucker preacher, my prayers go out to you, and if I offend you, I apologize. But I don't want no sucker preacher. We need a man that's going to lead the congregation, because I don't want to be lost following behind somebody that can't lead me. I ain't got no business in here. I'm already catching enough hell on my job, trying to survive my everyday life. Then I come to church and I got to follow behind a sucker preacher that don't know where he going himself. Y'all, wait a minute. I need some help. Y'all pray for me now, because y'all know how I am on a Sunday morning.